You. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Up for a challenge? I challenge you to learn everything there is on the internet. Ready, set, go. Let's see here. 6 billion pages? About 60 seconds per page? That'll be about 6 billion hours and 700,000 years. Don't have that kind of time? Don't worry. A large language model can do that in just a few months. Let me get you in on a secret. Head over to our AI playlist on YouTube to learn about large language models.
Well, I certainly don't have 6 billion hours. Hey YouTube, I'm Rochelle Diengson, and today we're delving into the world of large language models, or LLMs, with Veritas AI expert Varun Grover.
Hey Rochelle, great to be here.
So Varun, what are LLMs?
So large language models are multi-billion parameter language models that have been trained on vast amounts of data. So think about a chunk of the internet, for instance. We're talking terabytes of data here. And what these large language models can do is that they can use something called self-supervised learning to really infer and recognize some of these statistical patterns within the data and then use it to generate net new content and to predict the next word effectively. So think of how you or I were to learn something. You would read a bunch, or you would learn to see what the patterns are in, let's say, a poem or an essay. And then once you've learned and understood what language means and you've started to form some of that context in your mind, you can then generate your own original content. So a large language model functions much the same way.
And how is this impacting cyber resiliency?
So what's really cool about large language models is that they can actually analyze vast amounts of text. So the same concepts can actually be applied in cyber resiliency as well to analyze a number of signals and to be able to generate insights around that. And one of the things that we need to think about is with generative AI, there are opportunities to really think about resiliency within that infrastructure, because these large language models consume a ton of data for the training, and they also generate a ton of data in the inference. And all of that requires a huge investment, which requires a cyber resiliency posture through and through.
And how accurate are LLMs?
So believe it or not, their accuracy level is consistently increasing. They do hallucinate every once in a while, but because they've been trained on so much data, they're able to infer what, let's say, a structure of a blog or a journalist article needs to look like, or they're able to actually understand the patterns between data. And so over time, the accuracy is increasing. I think one of the important things here is reinforcement learning, where you need to think about how you can make a large language model generate content that is more aligned with human values. So there's this whole field around how do you make sure that the content that they generate is helpful, is harmless, and is hopeful. So you cannot ask it something that is inappropriate or is unsafe, and that way the large language model has certain guardrails around it. But the accuracy is consistently improving over time. One of the things they're still figuring out how to do is math, but they're figuring out cool ways to do that too, is like linking it to a task agent, which can just go and use a calculator instead of having the large language model try to guess an answer.
Varun, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing all your knowledge of LLMs. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more information on cybersecurity and AI.